He's ready to go on the Fan, New York Sports Radio. Mike's on, Mike's on. He'll get you the sports any way that he can. It's Mike Francesa on the Fan. Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM, WFAN.
From the studios of WFAN, this is Mike's on, Francesa on the Fan on this Monday, the 4th day of December, and it is a morning that is pretty much expected. If you heard the news yesterday, and I took my youngest son and one of his buddies over to the Jet game yesterday, so I was on the field when I first heard the news breaking about McAdoo. It had been no secret all week. I told you on Friday how unhappy ownership was with the coach, and that this was going to be we basically told you this was going to be his last game. That's what we all were hearing that last week. It's come to fruition, no secret to anybody. It's going to be a busy day. We have Eli Manning today at 5. There's already reports that he has been named the starting quarterback for this week. It makes plenty of sense for them. But now that McAdoo and the GM are gone, Reese and McAdoo gone, Spags is the interim coach, it makes complete sense to let Eli start this week. You've already broken the streak, so you can look at the young quarterback if you want in the next couple of weeks. If you want to look at him the last 2 games, you look at him. You let Eli start the next couple of games first but especially against the Cowboys. Eli will be the starting quarterback this week. That will be there'll be a groundswell. It'll actually get the Giant fans to go to the game this week. It'll get them to stop selling their tickets to the Cowboy fans. So that will slow down this week because now fans will want to go to see Eli this week. Eli is as popular as any figure in the league. And what you found out in this past week was sometimes you can do something and make a move that makes absolutely no sense and is done in such a rotten way that the impact is enormous. I mean, you saw this across the league. I cannot remember any time where a move was treated with more disdain and more unanimity in how people reacted to it than this move. To the point where it didn't matter what town you went to, what team you went to, what player you talked to, every quarterback, players, ex-players, coaches. You had a situation where Jack Del Rio basically never, do you hear this before the game, said, hey, did us a big favor playing Geno Smith. Did a big favor. There's no comparison to quarterbacks. I mean, so you heard that from the coach who was opposing them yesterday. So, I mean, the reaction was overwhelming. And if you watched McAdoo yesterday after the game, he pretty much told you that he was gone. I mean, he said, they asked him who the starting quarterback was. I don't know. We'll make a decision this week, which basically told you, don't worry about it. Number 2, are you the head coach? You heard the reports. Well, those reports would only worry you if you're among the weak-minded, was what he said. And then he said, I haven't talked to anybody about my job status. Now, you're going to tell me there's a report come out like that you wouldn't have bumped into ownership or ownership wouldn't have come to you and made a statement? You don't think ownership would have made a statement if that wasn't the case? If there was not validity to that report, you don't think ownership would have stepped up yesterday and said, hey, I don't know these reports coming from, there's no truth to these. They didn't make one statement. He didn't make one statement. He said, I'm the coach until my key card doesn't work anymore. Well, his key card doesn't work anymore is what it came down to. So, I mean, he probably already knew. I'm sure he knew. He might have known by last Friday. I'm sure he knew before the game yesterday. I mean, I don't think there's any question that, he knew what was coming. So the Giants, clearly. Now, there have been all kinds of reports that, and scuttlebutt that Mara really didn't know about this, but he had to act like he did because it just made the franchise look so bad. I don't know if that's true or not, or he just wasn't liking the way it was handled. Either way, you knew there was a tremendous disparity about what was happening here, and that they were not happy at all with what this coach had done. And clearly, this coach favored Geno Smith. He clearly did. He absolutely wanted to get Geno Smith in the game. And he had been very hard on Eli. And, and again, what you got yesterday out of Geno Smith was the same problems you've gotten all along. Now, Geno Smith, we all know he can throw the ball. And yesterday, he made a couple plays with his legs, not much, But he also had the same problems that, where he gets vicious hits and he loses the ball, which is the same thing that's plagued Eli this year. Now, he did get a couple of great catches that helped him yesterday. Even the big play that Shepard made, the ball was thrown completely behind him. So, hey, it happens. He made a couple of plays. He didn't play terribly. He played enough that he'll get himself to someone's camp next year, and he'll get a job. Gino's going to be on somebody's roster. Not going to start anywhere, but he'll probably be on somebody's roster. That's fine. And no one's surprised that Eli will be the quarterback this week. The Giants would have to be completely tone deaf to the entire situation to not jump at the chance to start Eli this week. And the breaking of the streak allows you, if you want to look at Webb, you can look at him in the last 2 games very easily. Give you a chance to look at him, no problem. Gives you a chance to move on from Eli if that's what you want to do. No one's saying yet what the Giants want to do or not want to do, but figuring they do want to move on, or maybe that now. Remember, some of the Giants could easily, now that San Francisco has a quarterback, and Garoppolo yesterday goes in his first game and wins the game. So now they've won as many games as the Giants. Now, right now, they're technically ahead of the Giants because they've played a softer schedule. But don't be surprised if San Francisco wins more games than the Giants down the stretch here, as they already have their quarterback of the future in place. And he played yesterday, and he's already 1-0. So they can move forward with him, and the Giants can move into the 2 spot, which means they can get any quarterback they want. The New York Giants being in the 2 spot for the draft, hey, they can get to the 1 without even any hard work, or they might not have to go to the 1, depending on what's going to happen there. So they're in a position to take the quarterback of the future. Hopefully they can take a quarterback that will give them a future. They obviously have a lot of work to do in rebuilding their franchise. First, they got to go get themselves a general manager, got to get themselves a coach, and that's what they will begin to do. Now, the Giants have not made any official statements yet, but what we are expecting is a Giant press conference within the hour. We have Eli Manning at 5 today. I told you on Friday that Eli's connections told us that they would honor the interview for the next 2 weeks. They will join me this week and next week. So that added deference to the program, and to me, they would do that. So that was very nice of them. I appreciate that. So we'll have Eli today, and we'll have him next week. After that, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Number 2, we hope to have John Mara today. We have put in a request already, obviously asking him to speak to us today. Hopefully he will do that. We are expecting, as we said, a Giant press conference within the hour, most likely right at the top of the next hour. After that, we hope to have Mara. We will have Eli. And obviously next, we will have you on all this Giant craziness. Back after this.